Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss O'Connell today. So for this video, we're going to be talking about division number stories. I know last week, Mrs. Benoit and I came together and we talked about multiplication number stories. And we're actually going to do the exact same thing this week. So do you remember how last week you had to write 3 multiplication number stories? You had to be creative. You had to try and be as fun and as creative as possible with those because it was a contest. And we picked 3 winners from each class. So we picked 3 winners last week who got brag tags for being creative and accurate with their number stories. And this week we're going to do the same thing. So you will be, after you watch this video, you're going to get a link to a Jamboard. On the Jamboard, you're going to use either text boxes or sticky notes to write your number stories, and then you're going to actually solve them. So I do want to see the answer to them as well. So let's get started. How do you write a division number story? Well, first, you got to pick an equation. What equation do you want to try and write into your number story? For me, I would try and choose an equation or a fact that you are working on right now. I know that in my class, we're really trying to focus on sevens facts right now. So I might choose a sevens fact that I want to work on. How about 21 divided by 7 equals 3? Okay, so here's my equation. I'm going to pick an equation that's relevant to me right now. And this is what it is. I'm working on my sevens facts. I want to think about the equation. This first number, our dividend, is the total number of objects. So when we write our equation, we've got to think about that. That's my total number of objects. Now, my second number could either be the number of groups, or it could be the number in each group. So there's what we had to think about. You've got to think about the dividend as our total number of objects and the divisor as either the number of groups or the number in each group. Now for me, I think I'm going to do the number of groups, okay? So I'm going to have 21 items put into 7 groups. Now I've got to think about, what do I want to write about? What's an interesting topic that I could write about? Let me think. Ooh, I know. Pies, because holidays are coming up and we're going to be eating a lot of pie. So here we go. I have 21 pumpkin pies. Oops. I have 21 pumpkin pies. Your first sentence of your division number story will most likely be, somebody has some amount of something, right? You're going to tell what the total is, your dividend. I have 21 pumpkin pies. Now, I need to talk about the fact that I'm putting those pies into groups of 7. Number of groups. There's going to be 7 groups. So, I share. The word share is often our telltale sign that this is a division equation. I share them equally. And remember, we've got to have equal groups, otherwise it's not addition or it's not multiplication or division. I share them equally with 7 families in the neighborhood. And my question is, how many pies does each family get? How many pies will each family get? So the statement would be, each family gets blank pies. We've got 21 pies in total, 7 families. They each are going to get 3 pies. So my answer would be 3 pumpkin pies each. There we go. They're each going to get 3 pumpkin pies. Now I'm going to pause for a second and I'm going to come back and do one more example with you. Okay, so here's another example. Earlier, we did an example with 7s. Well, I'm also working on my 8s fact, so I'm going to use an 8s fact for this one. Again, I wrote my equation first. Step 1, think about what equation you want to work with. This is the one I chose. 32 divided by 8 equals 4. Then make sense of the equation. Think about it before you write your problem. My first number is my dividend. It's the total number of objects. I have to remember that. I also have to remember that my divisor either tells the number of groups or the number in each group. Now, for my last problem, I chose that there were going to be 7 groups. For this problem, I'm actually choosing that this divisor will represent the number in each group, not the number of groups, but how many are in each group. And then, of course, this number, of course, is our quotient, our answer for a division problem. So let's look at my number story. Again, you want to tell the total, then tell the number of groups, then ask for the quotient. Miss O'Connell puts flowers into vases. She has 32 roses. There we go. I gave the dividend. She puts 8 roses in each vase. Not 8 vases. She puts 8 roses in each vase. How many vases will Miss O'Connell need? Miss O'Connell will need 4 vases. So, again, you want to think about the total. Then think about whether or not you want to write the number of groups or the number in each group. And you always need to end with a question. You've got to be asking your reader for the quotient. Good luck, boys and girls. Remember, you are writing 3 division number stories.